Yes, against a Wyvern especially, but especially against a Monkey King. You know, heroes that want to kind of set up and choke points, that want to use the terrain to their advantage, because they use terrain to their advantage. So you kind of neutralize that aspect about them and make them feel a little bit weaker with the freedom of movement that those guys have. You know, I quite like it, to be honest. I think Night Stalker was banned. Maybe he would have been like a little bit better in that regard, but you get the next best.
Yeah, but late.
Какой же гений против меня на линии?
Plenty of
Какой
voice
же
lines.
гений
Again,
против меня
not
на линии?
too much at stake here. Both teams already promoted for the next season, so it's just a matter of money and records here on the line.
Lane is terrible. That's why I think they didn't pick Night Stalker.
I
I can see your point on mobility. Maybe they're banking it all on mobility. That seems fine. I don't entirely mind that idea. I would still go slightly for Alpha, to be honest. I just feel like it's a 4-1 draft for KBU, where it's like there's not much synergy between Dusa and the rest of the team. So it just seems like it's 4 guys creating space for Dusa, and then Dusa will eventually carry the game solo. I think against Monkey King and Zeus, you actually have a lot of options to make sure that doesn't happen. So I would maybe go the way of Alpha slightly. But frankly, I think it also depends on who's the better team. I think in Div 2, the draft matters less than the execution.
Yeah, that's fair. These are 2 of the top teams, though, so maybe draft having a little bit more to do, because your draft can kind of skill cap you a little bit, depending on how many plays you can
these
make.
top teams, though, like it's all because they execute better most of the time.
Right, but
I really do think that's the case.
Yeah, so you think even against each other, it'll come down to who executes better? I mean, I suppose that's Dota in a nutshell, isn't it?
I think there's still like a wide barrier between. I mean, it may not necessarily against Alpha and KBU, but because these teams are not consistent enough, right? Like we'll see what 1 week, when Alpha loses, for example, it's because they're just I don't know what they're doing, right? Like I've seen some of their losses. You're like, oh God, Alpha, what you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, right? KBU has managed to be really consistent this season though, so maybe they're the ones with the upper hand. Like I'm very surprised by KBU's incredible change from last season, almost last place, to this season's first place. Honestly,
that's the magic of getting to play a lot of third-party events in between, right? With your squad, that's certainly that practice comes in handy, even if you don't scrim versus your NA comrades. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think what I'm most looking forward to is seeing how Fleet can perform on the Zeus. We've seen a couple of Zeus position 4s that have been rather lackluster. You know, they do Zeus things in the lane and in the early game, and then they kind of just exist and don't really, do much to impede enemies from basically doing anything all game. And sure, the damage is nice, but again, it's not, are you trying to lose reconnect button? Right, Realm is, of course, referring to the infamous abandoned bug that still exists in Captain's Mode lobbies.
Happened yesterday, I believe.
It did happen 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Is here in NA. 2 against, actually, yes, against Arkash, against all teams. 2 Alpha, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that was probably not a bug. It was just when you sacrifice enough goats, the reconnect button does disappear.
Yep.
I think that's what Arkash did there.
Yep. And Rises fortunately does get a reconnect in. This time he told us in the interview he's gonna. Extrapolating a bit here, he wants to do well this season, of course, because he needs to get a new PC between this season and next season. He said no matter what his plans are, that's first step on the plan, and I'm sure maybe if he wins this game, get that nice 3080 Ti, right? Go ahead and future-proof yourself a bit.
Honestly, if I was Alpha, I'd just give him the extra $1,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Let Rises carry. Yeah, I agree with you, dude. I mean, it's not enough for like the top tier computer, $2,000, but you have a little bit saved from the rest of the season. I feel like you can make it.
Yeah, for sure.
Also now, crypto's going down. GPUs are actually a fair price.
That's what I'm saying, Time to liquidate all of your apes and turn them into graphics cards.
All of your what?
All of your apes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, come on, Oliver. What's in your wallet? I've got bored apes. I've got mutant apes. Ape girlfriends.
I want to follow this line, but I actually don't know what you're talking about because I've never followed these things. I just knew they were like dumb monkeys, and that's it.
Well, Alvaro, imagine this, right? Let me try and sell you a bridge, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So Monkey King's Wukong command, right?
Yeah.
He creates a bunch of other monkey statues. Now, technically, okay, you could do that with the PNG, but the same one, okay, it's not the same as Monkey King, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you tell me I can own those statues?
You can own all of those statues, and when the haters Wukong's command and copy them,
Wow.
you just tell them it's not the same, brother. You're merely an acceptor copy. You're only going to be here for 3 seconds. I got the real thing. Oh, no, my apes crashed to 2 cents.
Okay, but the value doesn't matter, right? 'Cause it's about the honor
It's
of
about
owning those statues, right?
exactly.
So if I own enough of those statues, can I put them in an underground crypt and then call myself Emperor Qing Shi Huangdi?
Now here's the thing with that, Abu. Here's the thing with that is that whereas with physical possessions, and your physical possessions in the physical world, you're not in metaverse, not in whatever it is, Web3, right? Those physical things are going to last the test of time. I mean, come on, but who cares? They're going to get dusty. On Web3, they're going to last until the internet explodes, and then they're gone forever, okay? Or until, like, they decide to just redo the entire crypto thing. I don't know. There's a lot of problems with crypto. But listen, I mean, it's great, you know? It's you're going to stonks until that day.
I'm sold. I've always wanted to have my own terracotta army, so I feel like this is the way to do it. Like, it's a modern version of it, right? And instead of unifying China, you have to unify a bunch of nerds' wallets.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
it's much easier.
That's the idea.
Okay. That seems easy.
Now,
this has nothing to do, by the way, with
oh, of course not. No.
With Nouns playing last game, by the way.
oh yeah, no, not at all, actually.
Not at all.
Not
guys.
at all. No, it is not related. That's very true. I always forget about that. No, we're Division 2 casters, guys. Come on.
We don't know any of the Division 1 teams. We're not supposed to.
We're not supposed to.
Every time we mention Gunner, Purge comes into my room and just slaps me. You can hear him in the door. He's like, "Yellow guys, this is Purge," and you fucking turn around. Oh no, it's Purge with a stick again.
And then what he says is, I think I need a tango here. And then he releases his dog into your room.
Yeah, he just. I have so many bites, Richie. Yeah, this is the kind of tango that bites you, as opposed to you using it to bite a tree. It's really scary, honestly.
Don't worry, guys. We only have 6 minutes left of this, says the admin.
Your favorite podcast, Avo Plus and Seek and Strike or Sunsfan.
Or Sunsfan, yes. Cinderin.
This is we don't say things. This is the new cheap version of it.
Absolutely.
Do you think they'll reconnect? Genuine question, because
yeah.
Do you know where Rises is playing from? Like, I know I think it's Uruguay, right?
I believe his flag on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's Uruguay. Is he living in America though? I genuinely don't know.
I am not sure, to be completely honest with you. I will say his English was impeccable. When we did.
Oh yeah, he sounds like he's native.
Yeah, it was absolutely impeccable. But yeah, I can't be sure where he's playing from.
But then you also, as a Spaniard, you check his Wikipedia, you see 4 names, you're like, this guy, true Hispanic, right?
Yeah. Is that your problem with me? Is that I've only got the 2?
Honestly, yeah, that's why I don't think you're actually Mexican.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, it's one of those names as well. Where, like South America, they like the compound names, right? Where it's like you're not just Jose or just Manuel. You're Jose Manuel. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh wow. All of a sudden, I just assume that you have land somewhere in the world. Like you just own land, people.
It's fantastic. I mean, I'll tell you what. I've got lots of cousins, right? Many of them, primos, as we call them.
Yes, as the word is in Spanish.
As the word is in Spanish, and I've got actually some twins that are cousins called Carlos and Luis. But they also have a different cousin whose name is just Carlos Luis. So, it's like 2 in 1.
In Spain, we would run out of last names really quickly, or names in general really quickly, because people would just include, like, some people are just called a whole village of people, right? It's just this Carlos Luis, Jose Manuel, Maria, Concepcion, Rosales, and you're like, oh, is that like your whole family name? No, that's just my first name, dude. They call me Cajuanco. Okay.
That's why everyone has these nicknames. You're exactly right. Right.
It's true. My mom, for example, is Maria Isabel, but she's Maribel, and every time I have to write her official name in a document, my hand gets cramped.
Oh, it's very true. It's very true. Because I mean, how much writing do we even do these days? To be honest, right?
A fair amount. Well, I used to live in Scotland, and I used to use Scottish banks, which are still in the 1800s. So
that's fair. Yeah.
They would tell me, you have to put the name in the system, right? And they go, and they go, you have 2 last names, and I go, yeah. Oh, you can't do that.
That's right.
It's my name. Not in Scotland. Oh well. And they would take out a piece of paper. They would like dust out this 1800s 100-year-old like compendium thing, put it out there. It's like just write the name there, lad. Just write the name there. We'll sort it out for you. And then you did, and then two months later, you get a messenger pigeon in the window, right? And your bank account set up.
Yep, there's one reconnect. Black Soul's here. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be misremembering this, because I also know that Fixer and CDR, for example, they all share a house. I don't remember if Rise is also he does the same here with Black Soul. I think he said he does, but it might be incorrect.
Oh, they share a house?
I think they live together in some capacity. Yeah, I think they're roommates.
They must be both in North America, right? Because Black Soul is Bolivian, and
they can't connect a Discord server. So.
I mean, unless he's moved. Oh, actually, I've seen this before. Maybe they've moved over to a place with better connection. I'm assuming Uruguay does not have good connection to the USE servers, just because of how far it is. But logic wouldn't always help.
Yeah, I mean, come on now, we're not. Does logic really go anywhere?
I feel like Flea is developing an odd relationship with Byteland. I don't know if you saw the lobby chat there, but
I just asked him to change the server. Nothing wrong with that.
no, he says you should have seen the lobby chat. It was like Flea's Twitter, but times 1,000. That's what I would say.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here if maybe we'll get to speak to him again for another based interview to cap off our season, Avo, because I guess this is our last appearance here officially. There might be some tiebreakers actually coming soon, as we are getting reconnected, because today is not the last match of NA Div 2 actually, even if it's Avo's and I last scheduled one. It's actually going to be Friday, not tomorrow, and that is going to be between Arkosh Gaming and Dog Champ. And that, you guys can think about that like the evil Groundhog Day of NA Div 2, because if Arkosh sees their shadow and loses, then we are condemned to one more best of 3 of Arkosh Gaming. So make sure you guys also tune in for that, as that game.
Been blessed.
I mean, I chose my words. I said what I said. Okay.
Okay. Right. Blessed. Yes.
So yeah, but of course this game here just between first and second place decider, basically. Alpha as well, out of pause time for game number 1. Does reset for the other games, but we'll see if that ends up actually making any difference here.
To battle.
Hopefully Rises can play the whole game.
Hopefully not.
People don't know this, but they actually dangled the $1,000 like in Squid Game. And they're actually dangling above KBU's and Alpha's head, and whoever wins the game gets to just take him for themselves. We'll see who's faster. Rises. He's been sticky napalmed. 2 sticky napalms. Hammered now as well. But Rises is just so fast. This Monkey King is not going to be stopped.
That's the thing.
He's not owed by anyone.
No, he is not. He is a free monkey.
He is indeed. They take 2 bounties, I think. Yeah, Beastmaster will manage to secure the second set of bounties. He did go for Axis level 1, right? So we're going back. Well, people actually do this very often to secure last hits. We'll see if he deviates into full Axis or if he goes Boars.
Yep, this has frequently become one of my favorite talking points in lane, much like a Leshrac. You know how many points he likes to put into Edict. Similar with how many points Beastmaster decides to put into Boars, because that does speed up his tower push. It's a little bit similar, you know, different, of course, because different positions, yada yada, but, you know, kind of the same thing. 3 heroes currently top, actually. As Flea and Pingu now will show as they look for first blood here onto Sunlight. Rise is opening it up there with the Boundless Strike. Who doesn't quite have the reach here for the auto attacks, and Sunlight will manage to evade him here. No, nice, actually, Flea secures it, dives tower for it, and will die to the Warden. But it is going to be first blood for Flea.
Can we check fight recap for a second?
Yeah.
Look how much physical damage that Zeus did. 543. Oh, just auto attacks, man. That's impressive. He was really committing. Zeus base stats are actually incredible. Sorry, I was so excited about the Zeus. Zeus base stats are actually pretty good, so he just literally chased them down with the auto attacks. Well done. Good first blood. And now you mitigate the fact that Sunlight at bottom.
Yep.
Sorry, that monster at bottom.
Oh, there's a Primal Spring top with level 2. Rises. Doesn't have a Boundless Strike, though, as he opened up this engagement with it. Good harass, though, on a Sunlight. Really kind of making his early few levels very difficult, to say the least.
No.
That's the beauty about laning versus someone who spams as much spells as a Batrider. You find yourself a stick in this early lane, immediately into Wand or quickly into Wand, and you can just throw all the spells you want, really, to kind of combat the Batrider's early weakness, right? I mean, his damage output is nothing to speak about until you reach level 3. Then it, does become more difficult.
Yeah, that's where the weakness of Winter Wyvern does come into play, though, because we talked about how Batter beats Winter Wyvern, and certainly in the mid game he does, but in the lane it becomes kind of difficult, because Pingu can at best slow the Bat Rider, right? There's no stun to actually stop him from getting on top of you, so it will become a issue for Rises here. I've also seen, by the way, have you noticed that most carries these days are just going Wand, regardless of their matchup? It just seems like a good item in general.
Yeah, some of them are. I have noticed that on a couple of safe laners. It reminds me of the good old Envy days when he would just go like 2 rings of regen and like a couple GG branches on every single safe laner without fail. Very similar. I've seen that a lot for offlaners actually, where it's like a full magic wand, a stack of tangos, and an extra stick or something like that. I know Gremlo does that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the case for every single lane, but it does seem like a generically good item now that like Wraith Bands and Bracers and Null Talismans don't feel as appealing. Particularly the Nulls, right, are the ones that don't feel as appealing. In the bottom lane, by the way, Monster is fighting to the death against this Dawnbreaker, but he's out of mana, so Dawnbreaker's gonna start to outlast him here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rough.
Decent base damage.
Messed up, actually.
Oh no, the Dawnbreaker, of course, 8 stick charges, he has really nothing to fear. It's the sampler for now here on Beastmaster, so he doesn't go for the second point into Axis, probably because he doesn't really have mana for it? I'm not sure. I think Dawnbreaker doesn't do too poorly versus these boars compared to some other supports, given how strong she is in the lane.
She hammers them, right? Yeah. Just literally, and I think it's okay. I mean, with her and Dusa, because they're both pretty decent against boars, I feel like you're kind of fine here, which is why I would imagine an Axis build is possible. The thing about this is that once, if Beastmaster goes for Hammer the Dom, you can't really deal with it with Dusa and Dawnbreaker. So you can still go for Boar's build, go for full Zoo, and it's fine, because once you get Hammer the Dom, you just take over the lane anyway.
Yeah, I mean, right now, this Dawnbreaker's like kind of just 2v1ing, 1v1ing. Monster's like, what the heck is this hero? I'm stuck behind I'm underneath my tier 1 tower. I'm at a Beastmaster, and I'm saying this. Just 2 levels
and
here.
she hasn't even used the magic stick, dude. Yeah. Like, look at this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Monster just completely zoned out. And he's done so, actually, this Dawnbreaker, outside of XP range. So he's not really been sapping much experience of the Dusa. So this Dusa chugging along very nicely as far as her XP goes. Fully rotates mid lane. Doesn't... Oh, there's going to be the D-ward. Next move, at least. Didn't do Lightning Bolt, though. Kind of hard for a Zeus to gank a Void Spirit, to be honest.
Yeah, Zeus doesn't really gank. He's more like stays in lane and hopes to be useful. The one jump does help a little bit. Oh, he took courier them. Look at this Zeus's auto attacks, the most impactful part of the hero.
There he goes. You got Chad, Zeus, Flea walking around here, just zapping couriers.
It does feel like his hero. If you told me someone was like walking around shirtless on the street, carrying like a cosplay of Zeus, I imagine Flea would be the person.
Yeah, I can see it. Top lane, warded. Might be in for a bit of a rough time here. He's focused down. Boundless Strike for Rises for the bonus damage as he also connects it onto Sunlight, who is still giving chase here, but the Arctic Burn Slow will stop him from doing much with the Firefly. In fact, they might just turn back onto him. There's a Primal Spring ready. Into the trees they will go as Sunlight is going to take the straight line over the bridge, and he's getting out of this one alive. Good lane, though.
Yeah, there's attempted a gank from Flea, but fortunately, he is a Zeus, so all he can do is jump on the Void Spirit and hope Annihilate, again, leaves his hands off the keyboard.
Yeah.
Doesn't have Magic Stick, though, so at least he shouldn't die to Dawnbreaker, even if she does hammer him, which she is definitely considering. Puck is another hard hero to kill, but Soul is low on HP, so maybe they could try to muster this. Warden's kind of by too. He has no Hex, but does have a point in Shackles.
Yeah, the 2 points in Ether Shock are a little bit tempting. For a position 4, this build does make a lot of sense. You want to be able to farm and scale a little bit into the late game, especially because like Blink Dagger, Aether Lens on you against a Puck could make all the difference in these fights. So that's why you don't see, usually you'll see like 1-1-1, yeah.
I do think that for this lane, though, if you went 102 or even 1-1-1, I think would have been better, considering, once again, no stuns on Winter Wyvern, no way to stop your Shackles. If you catch a Monkey King with Firefly, he probably dies. But I guess he just decided to go for a little bit more lane harass. I feel like he hasn't had the impact that I expect from a Shadow Shaman Bat Rider. I thought this lane would be a bit stronger.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Sunlight's now being left alone completely, and Rises does dominate this lane, which defeats the point of the Bat Rider. In fact,
well, they don't want to go for
Rises
it.
doesn't want to take him. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Firefly is scary, I suppose. They don't see the Shaman?
Yeah, it's 202 right on this Bat Rider, so that's significant damage. At level 3 is when his damage actually starts to get a bit more noteworthy. So having a little bit of a healthy respect for the Firefly. He's already kited them over the river once, you know. I don't really want to end up getting taken for another wild bat chase. You know, bat chases, they're just full of screams, basically.
I think you can actually catch this Dawnbreaker. Oh, you're only level 2 actually on Flea. I think if it was level 3, this could have been a kill, honestly. She has Fairy Fire and Magic Stick though, so chasing after her with only level 1 Lightning Bolt seems pretty useless.
And good for him not to chase the middle of missing ping from Soul. Just kind of letting Flea know that there's probably a Void Spirit trying to kill you. Realm, I will say, I kind of do like Axes generally against Sedusa because she is very slow and she just kind of stands there in lane. Monster is here. Black Soul counter-rotating. They do get off the Stone Gaze right at level 6, but Soul will silence her. There's going to be the roar now as Monster screams louder than the Medusa in lane. And that is going to be a quick high 5 and a quick double kill for Black Soul.
Really good rotation by the Puck here. Puck has to take advantage of this moment where, like, early on, you're not fast enough to surprise people with counter rotations because Void Spirit's probably calling you missing. But if you get to TP on the tower as the enemy team is trying to fight, they can't really disengage in time. That was really well played by Soul. And the kill on Deuce is kind of impactful. And now 2k lead for Alpha is a very, very good deal. Nope, Pingu just made sure that he did his award. Well done there as well. And now, as the lane stage starts to break a little bit more, we're starting to see if Lee can actually take advantage of this detection he has on the hero and start to choke the team out of their map. For now, though, he is going to be choked himself, or maybe not. Little jump. And Void Spirit has his own jump. Dissimulate, he's dead. Oh, but Zeus has so much escape these days.
All right, Abba. Just wait. He'll turn this one around. Stack a bit stolen, though, as they are contested now with Rises. They expel the jungle invaders. Dawnbreaker so far the only to fall, and likely the only one. Coil, not yet available. No Winter's Curse, so they're just going to have to let him leave. A little bit annoying there. Black Soul's going to have a bit of the wind out from under his sails there, as they do steal a little bit of that hard camp, but, you know, still a double kill. 3-0 on the Puck. He'll have Witchblade up and running here, probably well before the Void Spirit. Yeah, well before the Void Spirit.
Yeah. Considering you had some, you allowed your better to recover after what is really bad early game, I think that engagement ends up being better for KBU US. But now you have the issue of Bat Rider's pushing a tower. Oh no, Bat Rider. Whereas on the other side, it's Beastmaster's pushing a tower. So there's no competition here. You kind of have to defend bottom if you want to make sure that this trade goes your way. Please try to run away with the Bat Rider. There's a Drink Bowl used. He breaks the coil. I guess he just wants to die here. He will. Soul's dead. Flea somehow alive. This is the jump actually helping him out as Annihilate's forced to use all of his mobility to kill him. We still have the Illusory Orb available here to search after Annihilate. But he does have infused raindrops. There's no jaunt onto the orb. And I'll let him go.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hard
At least Dawnbreaker defends bottom.
Yep, Dawnbreaker's able to do that here just fine. Eventually, she's not going to have really enough damage here. 2-2, sorry, build right now on the Dawnbreaker, and the Celestial Hammer Burn is what's going to really allow you to nuke through these boars and the rest of the creeps. Sunlight is coming back bottom, but they're going to need like a stun and probably the Celestial Hammer Fire to slow him because there is no lasso. It was used top lane for the kill. Sunlight deciding that he can't really push top. What he can do is certainly nuke a bunch of creeps, including those of Monster. So he'll probably stick around bottom for a while. So he's still finding a little bit of use. Something interesting I wanted to point out, because I'm seeing this more and more now, is if you hover on over to Puck, you can see that Puck has a full Witchblade. Not too far ahead of Annihilate in terms of net worth, who is not building Witchblade, but now a Yule Scepter, a common response to Void Spirits these days, as he is caught by the Winter's Curse. Pingu does not want to die here. We've seen a bit of time here of Annihilate. But really, the main reason I look to point this out is Pucks no longer really go for the phase or for the power trades, the first item. I've seen a lot of this just Robe of the Magi that gets turned into the Witchblade, and then you just get your treads online later. This is more and more common now.
It's especially important against a Void Spirit, right? Because when the Void Spirit versus Puck magic. Actually, we'll talk about this in a second because Dawnbreaker broke a tree. Monkey King's on the ground, but Dawnbreaker will die for this, so he only saves Annihilate's life. So the thing about this is that Void Spirit in this matchup tends to just itemize for the Puck, right? Because his goal is to counter the Puck. So that's why the Yule Scepter, right? On top of that, because otherwise you just die. So because of this, the Puck's real advantage early is very noticeable because he's capable of potentially ganking anyone in a team, and Void Spirit's only useful to gank him. Or only especially useful to gank. As a result, by speeding up your Witchblade, you don't punish the Witchblade particularly because you lack the mobility to catch him, but you literally kill anyone else on this team. So this difference, this breach is made even bigger by the puck, which is why in this specific matchup it's especially important to not go boots early and just to rush that Witchblade, especially if your lane is okay.
Speaking of lanes that went okay, Monster doing just fine now as far as his farm has come. You can see he's even maybe going to interrupt this smoke gank. I think they still end up catching
the bounty.
him here.
Oh, the bounty greed. They catch him with everything. Apparently, Monster will just die in the middle of the snakes. We do have Winter's Curse just coming off cooldown now, so Pingo couldn't use it to save him. They just sacrificed Monster for nothing there.
Yeah.
Okay, smoke gank, all things considered.
Yeah, KBU, they still end up getting a core for that. They're not too displeased, I'd say. Flea...
Did you...
Oh, go ahead.
Did you see who got the gold for the creep?
I think it was the Shaman. I think he got it with Shackles.
Oh, okay. Not that big a deal, man. If Medusa gets it, it's honestly a pretty fair recovery. Or any core, actually. 100 extra gold.
Yeah. Not bad at all. Even now Dawnbreaker chugging along for her items. Arcane boots. Oh boy, very exciting. But yeah, I mean the Warden, that extra 100 gold, especially this couple of waves, or I guess one wave he gets bottom to himself, are going to speed up his Blink Dagger ever so slightly. So that's going to be, of course, very nice to catch the puck. 3-2-1 build now, a nice little countdown build for Shaman, and as far as his skill build goes. What do you got? Second point in Shackles now, third point in the Hex. Probably, I think you would go for third point in Hex. Yeah, that's what the Warden will do.
That's a great term. I would love to see if it's like 4-3-2-1. That would be the ideal build, right? 4 points in Earther Shock, and one next point in Shackles.
Yep. Yeah.
No points in the Talents.
No points in the Talents. I mean, you could do it at level 9. Here goes the Warden. Probably dying. The Hex off though, and even Shackles, they're going to try and turn, but the heal from Dawnbreaker, not enough. Soul simply waning rifts outside of the Solar Guardian. They did force out the Roar, so not bad, but ultimately just a death there for the Warden.
Good choice on the Pearl Roar. It's like a very basic decision, right? But like, the idea of not doubting, not being dubitative and going, oh, should I waste it on the Shadow Shaman and just directly using it immediately to make sure the puck doesn't get caught. There's no counter initiation.
Did you say dubitative?
Yeah, dubitative, actually.
Okay, I'm a, you know, if I had to describe my feelings on if that were a word or not, in one word, I would say I'm dubitative.
Okay. Well, it is in this cast now. In the microcosm that is this cast has become a word,
yeah,
so there we go.
And we've said many words this cast, considering we had close to a 10-minute pause, but the action now is starting to ramp up. Coil was wasted mid, so now KBU feel like they can actually muster for a push top. Now they are still fighting into this Winter's Curse, so they do have to be ready for that.
Yeah, there's Wukong's command available too. But Battle Fury is not being finished as a result on the Monkey King. He's gone for that build
instead. Actually don't know that Realm's completely alone here.
Now they will. Because there's like nobody around him. They kill Solo as a result, but Winter's Curse to make sure that Stone Case is on save Realm. And it seems like Realm is going to fall. No TP on him, just in case.
Okay, Serpent Wards drop mid. Not a terrible trade, really, for KBU.
No, actually.
Pretty good, I'd say. They get the tower, especially with Serpent Wards. They get a kill onto the puck. They do lose their Dusa, but not the biggest deal in the world, considering the ultimates that were used for her as well. A Curse and a Wukong's command. They're fine with this, I think.
I agree. I think that's actually an interesting play, because obviously one of your biggest weaknesses as a KBU is my Batrider can't push, and the enemy team has a Beastmaster, right? But you managed to equalize that with Shaman to a degree, and with Display particularly. So now it feels like the map is much more even between them, even with a Zeus in the map. And I don't think this tier 1 top is something you want to commit for. I also don't think it's that valuable, because you're not the best triangle taking team, right? You have a couple of Zonat skills, it's fine, but your team fight is not considerably better than KBU, that you can just force triangle fights all the time.
Warden is Blink.
Rises?
Onto Rises.
They need some help for Rises.
Zeus. Oh, and they didn't control Rises, so he might just walk away from this.
Thunder God's Wrath, Dream Call on top of that, Rises. He's gonna die in the Firefly, but at least they get a couple of counter kills, 3 to be exact. And now Sunlight could be in trouble himself. They just burst him down in a matter of seconds. Flee with the impact the 4 Zeus tends to have in the very early game.
Yeah, and that's going to be the kind of panic, not coil, sorry, the panic lasso. Deuce is going to be mighty interrupted now. They get a decisive team fight win top lane. They clear the tower. They can rotate through and get this mid tower very easily, especially because Black Soul's about to find a DD rune. Thank you very much. Helm 2 is about to be finished for Beastmaster. You know, the top tier one in its own, in isolation, is not that big of a deal, but when you combine it with a Beastmaster who is pushing top, not always do you see him here. Normally Beastmasters, they really like to play the bottom lane and take over the enemy jungle. When you combine it with that, if they manage to win another fight and take this tier 1 mid tower against a Dusa, it's pretty significant. Not a lot of space she has to safely farm. She almost has Manta up, but will probably require a few more items for her to carry this game, especially because your Bat Rider and your Void Spirit will eventually start to fall off here for their damage, for their magic damage output. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. They're very base kind of damage. In the case of Bat Rider, he's limited by his HP because you can only stand in the team fight for a certain amount of time, and eventually you just get bursted down too quickly. That's why the BKB is such an important idea for Sunlight. And in the case of the Void Spirit, you're right, it's just a set amount of damage, which is now punishing him because he's trying to break the coil. The Yule Scepter trick did not really work out because Wendy Whip got him right afterwards. Hex from the Warden. Okay, not bad. He's on the shackle. Someone cancel it, please. There's the Thunder Gods, or sorry, the Lightning Bolt. Help him out. Face it by the puck. So, forgot to use Illusory Orb. Pressed the jaunt away. Caught in the middle of it.
Yep, no Illusory Orb there.
He was pressing that E too quickly, I think.
Yeah. Little puck combo not quite going his way. Mid lane though, Rises going to set up the Wukong. So man, Boundless Strike actually also catches some Sunlight, as will the Roar. They're gonna sick Sard in the Wild Ripper onto him, but even with the Hurricane, it's not too much damage. Trying to fight Rises inside the Wukong's command is not gonna go very well for the Warden, as he is killed. And here's a tip onto his dead body. There'll be a tier 1 tower here as well for Alpha, who do lose the puck top lane, but yet again are gonna find an objective elsewhere on the map.
Rises, by the way, going for what used to be called the farming build, what I like to call reverse rupture build, because if you sit still against this build, you just die. And it's the best way to deal with the Dusa in general, one of the biggest strengths of the Monkey King.
Right, that's what I frequently like to call like something like PA. You know, she's like reverse rupture, right? She blows you up when you don't move.
No, because if you move from PA, she still blows you up, alright? The Monkey King, it's only if you sit still. Well, specifically if you're a slow, lumbering hero.
A little bit less, right? Because if PA Phantom strikes you and then you force staff away, you know, then she can't reach you.
Okay, you know what? Just let me have
Whereas
this,
with Rupture, if you force stab yourself, you died. You get pinged and reported, and you end up on a YouTube fails channel.
You know, I don't know why you're doing this to me. Everything has to relate to Bloodseeker.
You gotta listen to Slacks and Suns fan laugh at you every week, you know? Imagine that.
You know what I called the Lightning Bolt? I called it a reverse Blood Ray because it doesn't silence. That's another term
top tier analysis here as Monster is going to be caught. The Warden dying to the jungle though. Solar Guardian can't even keep him alive as Fleet nukes him down. However, they will at least connect with the Starbreaker onto Monster. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Soul not going to be controlled here as they do drop at least a Winter's Curse. Doesn't connect onto any other heroes or units. So Pingu is going to have to retreat out of this one. 1-for-1 trade. A bit better for KBU.
Oh no, they got Zeus.
Have they? Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have. Sunlight just ran after him, dude. You even used the drums charge just to bring Zeus back. He almost has Axe, though. Pretty big deal, honestly. On a 4 Zeus, not that bad farm. Honestly, he's almost matching the Bat Rider. Rise manages to push out the bottom lane as well, so this doesn't turn into any objectives for KBU US. It's not bad for Alpha. Obviously, still good kills for KBU, but all things considered, Alpha got away pretty unscathed.
You know what I like to call Nimbus Cloud?
What do you call it?
I like to call it, you know, reverse Monkey King farming build. Because if you Because if you stand still against it, it'll kill you. You know, with that battle fear.
Oh, but that's exactly what the Monkey King farming build does.
Exactly.
I like to call it reverse Thunder God's Wrath because it only hits one person as opposed to the whole team.
There you go. If only Zeus had another skill that only hit one person. Oh well. Those aren't the days.
Well, no name for that. Yeah, exactly.
Well.
I'm glad this dumb comment became a meme now. Thank you, Richie. Appreciate it.
I got you, dude. Anytime. Avo, anytime, okay?
So, it's gonna get a linkage, by the way, next. So his choice is to be anti-Shaman. I guess it's also good against the Bat Rider. I also feel like Soul's phase shifts have been not optimal.
Not this game, no. He's had more impressive games on the puck than this, for sure. But, you know, classic warm-up game for him. Once he does get this Linken's up, the catch against him does become significantly harder. Hex is instant, but the animations on Aethershock and Shackles even are a bit longer and might allow a puck to easily escape. The lasso, though, the 1-2 punch with like a lasso and Hex breaking, that's when it does become problematic, but that does require a lot of coordination to really pick off a puck.
And also two of your most important spells for initiating, right? And if Puck tanks both of those, then your Monkey King is pretty much free to do whatever he wants, right? And Rises is still a threat. The fact that he's still matching Dusa 22 minutes in is very impressive. Even with a Battle Fury build, like Monkey King is not supposed to farm this quickly. He's also got away from the reverse Rupture build, and he's gone for the BKB straight up, which I appreciate much more. It's going to be easier build to play. The farming build is effective, especially against a Dusa, and it certainly works, but this build makes sure that you can kill the rest of the team, and you're not just a Dusa murder.
Yeah, I mean, essentially allows you to ignore this Void Spirit, the Shaman, especially if you don't get hexed early. You can fight now in the Dawnbreaker ulti, whereas before it's a little bit of a concern, this Solar Guardian. And now until she gets Ag Scepter, which is not too likely really for this Dawnbreaker, who is still mighty farmed, I will say. We might actually end up seeing that. But given how strong the Wraith Pact is, and how obviously a Bat Rider is never going to build one, someone needs it. So probably not going to see Ag Scepter in exchange, though, for the Vlads and Wraith Pact here on Dawnbreaker. So still some very good healing coming through, but you know, the Ags giving you the miss rate in Solar Guardian does make life difficult for him. That's Celestial Hammer used and unfortunately wasted in this game. Dawnbreaker, who is going to die there in the Nimbus, will likely be here at Tier 2 Tower in favor of Alpha. KBU, they don't really have the wave, they don't really have the tower push to exchange. And actually, Alpha, they think that KBU are going to bring a fight to them. They're not completely wrong about that.
Rises, got Hex though. And there's a Shackle still available. Okay, there's the Puck, making sure Shackles doesn't happen. Shaman's dead, but we still have Sunlight coming in with the Lasso. Thanks to the Snakes, Rises could still die here. The Hammer will make sure this happens. Sunlight makes it out alive, thanks to his BKB. Puck not caught in the 8th Remnant. Yes, no Blink Dagger before he comes out of the phase shift, which means he's gonna stun. And that Soul once again dying.
Wow.
2 kills going the way of KBU. Only sacrificing a Shaman. Pretty good fight for them, honestly.
Pretty good fight. I think a fight that they can only really blame themselves for is they kind of just run at the enemies and force hits. They did kind of have a ward up on that cliff. I could see why they wanted to take the fight in that instance, but the BKB on Bat Rider comes out, he escapes the Puck. They still get the Tier 2 bottom, but I think they would have been happy with just committing for that Tier 2 bottom. I mean, you've got the Beastmaster, Ancient Creep, you know, you would have kept this ward alive, so you still could have fought under it later. Not really sure if that was the most calculated play there by Alpha. Even if it was a really good curse, no one really taking a death other than the Shaman. A bit painful for them, but not the end of the world. More space for the Dusa, however, as her farm still continues to amass. Now only one component away from that Eye of Scotty. Might be a significant one versus the Monkey. That's Scotty slow.
Yeah. This is a pretty big target point. Hammer once again for the support, so they're going to kill off the Dawnbreaker. Not the best initiation, honestly. You still have to deal with the rest of the team. Do we have Coil? We do. Annihilate gets away with the Astral Step.
Quick little haste
however,
oh, he's not going to chase.
haste.
Yeah.
Looking for the Roche instead. All right. It's good because, I mean, KBU, they still need that Scotty to, as you said, that's a very big turning point, so at least you can take advantage of that with the Aegis. And Aegis should be able to mitigate the Scotty impact here, because that way you guarantee also the BKB usage for Rises, assuming he takes the Aegis.
It'll be right.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. Going into the Ag Scepter now. So it's now AoE Rupture, if you can call it that. Mighty don't want to stand still anymore.
If that was a Nags actually for Rupture, I would play Bloodseeker all day.
Well, he's already got 2 charges, mate. Come on.
Yeah, 2 charges plus the AoE Rupture. I think that's ridiculous. Only fair. Well, now you can no longer do the Soulbind trick, right? So technically it's a nerf.
Radiant are scanning.
Depends how it would work, right? It would probably have to be. I imagine it'd be like Lion Finger when it's upgraded by Egg. It has to be targeted to enemy heroes, not just AoE.
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like you could. I think it's a nerf overall. So I think Icerock should just implement it because why not?
Yeah, you know what? He should also let Arg Warden use Divine Rapier again on the double. Those were some really fun games of Dota.
To be honest, I actually hated that build. It was always really boring. I'd much rather play the Hex build.
I always called that like Illusion Rune, or sorry, Illusion Rupture build, you know.
because if you stay still, you die. And if you don't stay still, you die too.
Yeah, because you need that to flux, right? You need to run towards your teammates.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna try to push top tower. Let's see if this works out. There's not Any contention apparently from KBU. I don't think there's equivalent to take a tier 1 for a tier 2.
Dusa is in like a fighting shape, but she needs to take a fight in the right kind of area. Nice jump away from Flea, and he actually might be able to turn this. Solar Guardian's gonna lack the damage. Dawnbreaker instead turns to try and stun Soul, and Soul's gonna be immune there in the base ship. Rises collects too on the Boundless Strike, finds the kill as well. If I need the kill, I should say, on Nightlight is Black Soul. They defend the tier 1 tower, they defend Flea. And that is going to be not a good fight for KBU. I mean, they needed a pick off there desperately.
Yeah, a pick off. I don't know why they forced that tower though. I mean, it's a tier 1 offlane, right? Like, there's not a good objective. Realm now in trouble himself. Another stun that works by Rises. Now Stonegate has been forced from Realm. They still have a couple of slows though, but no stuns unfortunately to keep him inside the Wukong's command. So Realm is capable of making out of here alive. However, since Rises still conserves the BKB and soon gonna get the Ags, even with a Scotty and Dusa, since you wasted the Stone Gaze, I feel like this kid makes more time for Alpha anyway. And that Ags and Monkey King might be able to equate the impact of the Scotty. Yep. That Nimbus from behind and Sunlight. Another stun. They hit him.
Might have to BKB.
They slow him.
Oh, no use.
Winter Script should kill him.
Unfortunately, nothing Annihilate could do there. That's just the most sad thing in Dota 2 when you've got to watch another core die and they just stand outside and they're looking on over to you. You know, the rain's pouring.
Longly.
Yeah, they take a sip of their coffee and go, oh, sorry, friendo. And they might have to do that now to the Dusa.
They don't want to deal with Realm first, trying to kill his teammates, but it's actually going to be Soul who dies first. Realm, low on mana, but Rises doesn't have his ultimate here, so they have to be a little bit careful. The spell is that Jingu Mastery, as Rises gets one mass stun before he can retreat here. But the 8th Remnant will hit him, actually, and Island continuing his fight. Pingu might just be able to save him, using the Cold Embrace to heal him back up. Rises gets stunned as soon as he comes out of the Cold Embrace. With set up for the Firefly, Rises will lose his first life. Got a little bit caught here. Can they save him? Rises have BKB, so he's done for. Apparently, Lasso will keep him controlled. Rice is done. And they just went a little bit too far there. It's okay to go for pickoffs, but diving in tier 2 without that ultimate seemed too much.
Yeah. Another kind of uncalculated fight there. I would say miscalculated from Alpha, as they go, okay, well, Dusa doesn't have Stone Gaze. They don't have Solar Guardian. They didn't have it at the time. And everything else that they really did have ready to go. Alpha go, we still have BKB on Monkey King. We can easily take this fight. And it turns into Black Soul getting caught immediately, as they don't really fall for the bait of trying to kill Monkey King. Not like a Void Spirit would want to kill him anyway with BKB active, because he can't. And that very quickly falls apart, because the puck, still very much so a large amount of the teamfight damage at this stage. Monkey King with his build, you know, you gotta stand still for a much longer time. And honestly, Dusa's like the queen at standing still and not really caring about your damage. You know, you pick her into, you know, your Enigmas and your Faceless Voids for this very reason, alongside the Wraith King. So, yeah, they need way more damage on Monkey King before they can look to play like that.
I mean, as long as they have the ultimate, I think it's fine, right? But, like, that was the issue, where I thought that if you... Like, even without ultimate, even if you wasted it, because you have BKB, you can still go for pickoffs and supports, right? And that's fine. You could go even pickoffs and maybe a Batrider if you have from a Roar, which seems fine. But the idea of using Roar on the Dusa without having this, like you said, sustained damage to really bring her down seems like a really tall order. I don't know what was the plan there, honestly, to turn that into a favorable fight, especially near the tier 2 where Dusa has the extra armor from the tower.
Yeah. Again, I think it was just, she doesn't have Stone Gaze. I've got BKB. We can kill them. And then, nope.
Sure, exactly, but like you have to consider why your matchup is good, right?
Yeah.
Monkey King is not good for Dusa. Like the thing that makes him good against Dusa is either the Ags or the Wukong's command. So without statues, you know, no NFTs, you don't kill Dusa with ease, as they say.
As they say, exactly. And you need to be able to make copies of your NFTs. Wait, no, don't do that. That's theft. Yeah, I mean, again,
I forgot about that.
She's just underneath the tier 2 the entire time. They kind of get kited on over the Dawnbreaker. Soul just gets, again, they can't even hit Rises, right? So Annihilate, he doesn't need to really split his targets, because he can. He just focuses on the puck. Nice job there. Yeah, man. Pucks, they don't build BKBs, so this is a problem that is going to kind of persist throughout the rest of the game against this Void Spirit. Usually you mitigate this a bit with the Lincolns, obviously, because then he can't Yules you into the whole combo. And then again with Sanj and Kaya. So that'll be online soon. And hopefully Steam as well will be online soon, so we can get going again here. Is it Tuesday? I think it is Tuesday, isn't it? No, it's Wednesday. No, it is.
What, for
it is,
for what country?
Oh, it is Tuesday. No, it's Tuesday in NA, so this might be a little bit of a wait.
What, do you think it's a Steam update?
It is. It is usually time for maintenance. Maintenance, yes.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do it in the middle of NA Div 2 though.
Anyway, time to check on my monkeys.
You don't think Gavin watches this region?
Oh, he's actually, I think. Oh no, he's one component still away. It looks like he's making like an Eye of Scotty sandwich with his quick buy, but it's just the Ags and then into Scotty.
The Eye of Scotty sandwich.
It's a good one. That'll definitely be going. You know, when I eventually make my Dota themed cafe bar, that'll be on the menu. Eye of Scotty sandwich. It'll be meatballs but dyed blue on a sub.
Oh, I thought you would do like an ice cream sandwich. That seems like a much better option. Why meatballs? Why not? Why not make an ice cream sandwich?
I was waiting for a reason. You just want ice cream.
I think the ice cream sandwich is like the perfect.
It's 7 a.m. How are you craving an ice cream sandwich right now?
Well, it's like ice cream, right? So Eye of Scotty,
Okay, let's workshop this. We got some time.
We got some time. I feel okay. It has to be cold. It has to be cold. Okay, it has to be something cold. So and meatballs cold are disgusting. So
yeah,
I think.
Well, you know, I was hoping I could do a little bit of a retro throwback here for all the Dota 2 veterans. Not Dota 1 veterans, the Dota 2 veterans. Back when this thing had Orb of Venom in it, right? Remember those days? And you can make it like a spicy.
So you put poison in the meatball.
Yeah, a little spicy meatball sandwich. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's Aya Scotty. That would be more like a Cloak of Flames.
Yeah.
I wonder what would you give him for like a magic wand? Oh right, it's true.
Yeah, Steam is down for maintenance. I mean, it's Dota 2 coordinator. Would
you just give him like a stick
That's smart.
like just that a stick maybe covered in butter or something?
For magic wand?
Yeah.
What would a magic wand be for food and beverage? I don't know actually. It's a good question. It would have to be it'd have to be something quick and snappy. For me, that would be like probably like a dumb name for some sort of coffee, like espresso drink that was like, you know, you're not gonna down it in one gulp, but it's quick to consume and it gives you like a big boost of HP. I'd go for like a double shot of espresso probably on that.
What about you know in raves they use these light sticks that you like snap and like they make
yes, or in survival situations, they're in seer kits, but yeah.
Sure. That's what I've used them for too. Yeah. I've never gone to a rave before. Anyway, what is that's the magic one? That seems like a good allegory, right?
Yeah, especially at like a cafe. Wouldn't you be super pleased if you showed up and they're like, "Here's your nightstick"?
I mean, if it's free. And then at night you have the rave customers coming in, right?
There you go.
And then you can call it the Primal Roar Night.
Man, I sure do hope that Valve gets back online soon, don't you too?
Yeah, it's like all the customers. You can unleash your inner beast.
There you go. Now that is a pretty good slogan, honestly, for like I feel
like you could really do it like a whole beast.
That could be like I think that could be like an energy bar or an energy drink thing actually, like in the Dota 2 universe.
Is that a thing?
You know, canon.
Like, is there energy drink bars?
Well, I guess not really. And we are sponsored by Monster anyway, so it should still just be Monster, to be honest. Actually, now that I think about it.
That's fair. I would take that.
Yeah,
Jenkins would take that.
I think he would too, as well. I mean, honestly, you hand that guy any drink and he'll drink it.
Yeah, it was really weird. The other day, I was saying him like, you know those things that you put on the side of your toilet to like clean it, right? They just chug the whole thing, and I was like, Jenkins, this is because your toilet smells bad, and he just took it.
He is confused by a lot of these things, you know, cat litter,
Tide Pods.
Yeah, the what is it called? The urinal cakes as well.
Yeah, the urinal. Yeah.
Anyway, we're back. Hello, everyone. Alva versus KB.
It is. I will say, final comment on this. Stop naming things after food if they're not food. I feel like cakes is very confusing. I just want to point that out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. How many urinal cakes have you devoured in your life, Alvaro? Do we need to have a talk?
More than 0, I will say.
Okay, this is bold. I guess not,
and
really.
Good kill.
Yeah.
Jawbreaker didn't really do anything. Nimbus stops as well as Starbreaker. She could be in trouble. Essence Ring used though to get a little bit more HP, and now the Puck is the one who might just die. Good phase shift. He stalls the Waning Rift. Can they guess that similarly? They cannot. As Soul is capable of blinking away inside his phase shift. It has no TP, unfortunately. Soul. Will they hunt after him? They'll just assume he has TP.
It's a Puck. You don't chase a Puck, mate.
No, this is the magic of pauses, dude. When after a pause, they genuinely do not know if he has TP or not.
I mean,
they forgot.
yeah, that's true, but also chasing a Puck very rarely is going to end up, you know, winning you that particular engagement. I guess in this one it might have, but even then, cooldown on these spells, you know, cooldowns on Void Spirit spells. It is Ag Scepter, of course, being a big thorn in their side, but the jump there was fantastic onto the Batrider. They will nuke him down even before BKB can come out, and an easy kill for them. They'll be mighty happy with that. What do you think about this Winter Wyvern shard? I'm seeing this actually kind of picked up around this time when you've got like 1 or 2 items on Wyvern.
Oh, I think it's kind of broken. Yeah.
For what reason?
I think any shard.
Just for the push?
Yeah, I think any shard that allows you to like solo, like completely kill a lane, right? Much like the Necro shard as well. Like, but people start to buy Necro shard for that reason as well. It's just the farm is nice if you're a core for sure, but the idea that you can push a lane without much commitment is amazing. Yeah, that's the same reason why like a lot of heroes have actually gone for full build just to justify that idea of like I solo kill a lane with a single spell. Bloodseeker used to do that, right? With Veil Discord when he was offlaner, like Veil Discord Blood Rage with Blood Right. You just used to solo push a lane. Tons of heroes try to itemize into that. People underestimate how much that impact can have, because it's an ability that's good when you're winning because you just push lanes and you choke the enemy, and it's good when you're losing because you push lanes and prevent the enemy from coming at you. Yeah. So it's never a bad build.
Just one small note on that, right? Because you do require a creep to Cold Embrace, so it's not as great for cutting waves as say like the Necro Shard would be, where you do need.
For sure.
But it's still very good. It's good wave clear, and that's never going to be a bad pickup. This is like equivalent to stealing like a Breathe Fire or a Dragon Slave on Rubik, and then you know just use your second skill Fade Bolts and your Stolen Spell, and you clear every single wave. It's super valuable. You're barely showing on the map. You're shoving instantly. Very good. And I agree. It seems pretty decent.
Okay, they go for a smoke here, Alpha, but they forgot their Zeus. I guess Zeus is fine. It's his Nimbus and Thunder God's Wrath.
And it's Flea.
Rises will lead. Oh, Rises.
Rises he will lead to farm, is what you meant to say. And
yes, but now it's very obvious they smoke because all of a sudden the monkey appears in the mid lane.
Oh, he did finish right his Acceptor. I forgot it was the Iascati sandwich, not quite the full Iascati.
Yes, exactly. An ice cream sandwich.
An ice cream sandwich, yes. Chat's still divided on that, so we'll see here what they decide on. This smoke, though, is not going to really find anything for the side of Alpha. Would have been a pretty decent catch for them as well if they could kind of get a big fight out. I think... I don't know. If neither team has their big team fight spells or ultimates, which team do you think can take Roche? Because that's kind of the question right now if they do end up taking a fight. You know,
that's a good question. Do you have to take it fast, or like, is it? You mean a Roche fight?
Yeah, like a Roche skirmish, not really a fight. Because like the idea with these kind of smokes right before Roche spawns is if Roche is like 20 or 30 seconds and enemies respawn. Hold on, I might not finish my point. I might be fighting here before that.
Right, I see what you mean.
No. Because
I think it's KBU.
Okay.
It's Dusa alone, right? Yeah. Like if you don't have ultimates, I feel like this Dusa lives forever.
Yeah, I think you're right. Especially like probably still Wukong's command, especially before this ice cream sandwich can come out.
Rises.
Gotta reach up the freezer and get one of those. Hop on over to the drugstore and buy yourself a ice cream sandwich.
That's not where they're sold in the rest of the world. It's exclusively an American thing. The drugstore, I mean. Like they're usually sold in ice cream shops.
I mean, fair enough. I guess you're right. I didn't see any freezers full of ice cream sandwiches and Iascatis in the Swedish drugstore that I had to go to.
Good to know. Roche. By the way, he's American. He means pharmacy.
Apothecary.
Or apothecary.
Sorry, apothecary.
I wonder... I mean, I don't think it's really worth it to either team to go to Roche, because they take it both too slow. Because now Agus from Monkey King doesn't affect Roche, right? So it's just way too slow. You don't have any minus armor on either team. I don't see any Solar Crest or anything. It's kind of a bad item anyway. So I'm not really sure what the next move is for either team. It just seems like they're trying to fight each other for a pick-off. And there we go, pick-off on the Shadow Shaman. Not bad.
Not bad at all. He's got buy. I was watching
No
actually
roar,
the
though.
Warden, who was kind of hunting that puck, almost had vision there to make the jump.
Radiant's
He
turret
clears a
has
wave
been
bottom,
killed.
and I mean, that'll quote-unquote force Dawnbreaker to be here, but again, Dawnbreaker doesn't mind being here because she can just ult into the fight as soon as it starts over in the Roche pit. They accidentally cut Rise's tree. I think that was Monster griefing him. As the Ancient is actually going to start on
Radiant's
Roche.
middle tower is under attack.
We kill Roche slowly with axes as well, getting his stacks up. Flea's got a refresher. Okay. Not bad,
Yeah, yeah.
boss.
I guess Fleet now just stays in base, like so he can have enough mana to use the full combo.
Pretty much. It's what, 1,300 mana there?
Yeah, he doesn't have enough mana. If he uses like,
60%, yeah.
assuming double Thunder God.
Oh, it's
and double
more, yeah,
Nimbus,
because
right?
you double Nimbus. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
So,
1,600.
No, 1600 with. Oh, it's 1900. 1925.
It's more.
1950 actually.
That's actually more, man. He's got to keep a stack of mangoes there.
That's what I'm saying. He literally has to stay in base. I feel like he has more impact by staying in base and doing nothing other than regen Fountain. It's what happens. Support Zeus too much farm, honestly. Like he's being the Void Spirit, dude. Flea's just another core.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, honestly, assuming he can get a little bit more mana, yeah, he needs that soul booster there to get that one going. Oh, but they've got the Monkey King. They're dragging the
huge.
chicken through the snakes. He's actually quite tanky, though, but how tanky can he really be? Pops the
Oh my
BKB as they turn. They've already murdered both supports. In Sunlight, he will fall just as fast
What?
thanks to the refresher of Flea. What a turn.
That is wild. Wow. Usually in games when a hero becomes too... Oh, well, Monster is in a similar position, but I don't think he's as strong as the Monkey King, but he's going to run out with a BKB. So usually in games, there's like a turning point where a hero just becomes a little bit too powerful, right? Obviously, the help of the Zeus certainly was valuable there, but Monkey King in general just a little bit too strong. And if KBU had wanted, say, one more hero, Void Spirit, right,
Yeah,
probably would have
Void.
died there, but they didn't realize that because that turning point, they hadn't experienced it yet.
Yep.
So usually you get one bad fight, and then from then on, you'll see now 4-man ganks opposed to 3-man ganks.
And that's pretty big, actually, because, you know, that's... I mean, it's kind of shows... I don't want to say a lack of understanding in the draft. I think that's very harsh and not true. But this is just not the strength of the Batrider. He's not really known for his burst damage. You know, if he surprises an enemy, it's going to be with his control through BKB with Lasso. That's his utility in this kind of, you know, game.
Exactly.
But you bring him here with a damage dealer. Dawnbreaker and Shaman are certainly not burst damage either. Are they fighting this?
I think so. I think they can. They stop Nimbus, they stop Thunder God's Wrath, they go for Dusa first, Primal Roar used, and they have Wukong's Command. Keep her in place, Flea. Help her out. Oh no, she's running away. Out from the monkeys.
Burned her mana.
Someone stop this Dusa. She's copying them. Go, call the Twitter police. They can't stop her. Concentrate is one of trouble. Winter Scorchers in the fight. That's going to kind of work, but with the help of the Dawnbreaker, it might turn this around. Warden's already dead. Monkey King just seems to have to do so. There's the lasso used as well. Ryze is now in trouble as well. He doesn't speak maybe even still has the Aegis, and he just wants to kill the enemy carry. Gets
He's
the
gonna do
stun.
it.
Finally, Realm will die. As Ryze is willing to lose his Aegis for this, helped by the Cold Embrace. Alpha will not lose this fight, but everyone's so low there.
Yeah. 2 buybacks forced out from KBU. Alpha, you know, not bad whatsoever for them. They just need to cleanly back up, wait for their cooldowns, and they can go probably running right back down mid and do the whole thing again. Because again, they still actually conserve Aegis. Dusa has no buyback. They might not know that. She did buy out for Hurricane Pike, but that's not like the most obvious big purchase, you know, if she's all of a sudden showing up with like a full Daedalus. They might have known. That's not the most obvious item here. Of course, it's going to be a tier 2 tower 4-3. KBU don't really stand a chance of defending this one.
Radiant's middle
BKB
tower.
You
back
wasted
to
lasso
40.
there, so...
Yeah, they just need one more wave. They might not even wait, actually. Rise is going to go right up to the high ground.
Is under
There he
attack.
goes. With his NFT collection, he actually will get to do this one rather quickly.
Yep. Good positioning by Ryze. Monkey King's been
Radiant's
attacking
bottom
so
tower
Yeah.
has fallen.
Very good.
And this takes away the chance for KBU to beat the 5-4 staff record.
There goes. He's control
Radiant's
scene,
bottom
control
barracks
vein.
has fallen.
Deleting, in the meantime, these bottom barracks.
Alpha
Whoa.
rises.
That is-
He's just not afraid of anything.
He's not.
I mean, he has Aegis, right? Plus the cover of Winter's
Yeah,
Curse.
and
so
now
I
he's
get
got
it.
BKB. The Wukong's command is ready. I mean, like I said, Alpha, this is, you know, again, a time of strength for them. Pardon me, but they don't want to get caught on the enemy high ground
Time
while
of
the
strength.
Dusa is respawning. It was not a time of strength. It would be a time of weakness. Back away. And in fact, look for maybe Sunlight. He's got BKB. He's got Blink in 5 more seconds, though. He's fairly speedy. The Fireflies ended, though, not as quick, especially as Rise continues to give chase. DPC in the trees. They've caught him.
Wow. Oh boy, what a dream coil.
Yeah.
That's dead sunlight.
About a half-blind coil. Obviously, he had the intuition of where that blink was going to end up going based on the Batrider's last position, but still, it was a blind coil. It does connect and find a major kill.
Yep. And I think the point about the Batrider I said earlier kind of proved himself. His lane didn't really go that well, and his impact this game has been essentially a lasso, which has been stopped 9 times out of 10, right? Like in the last team fight, the Rises was really far out of position because he knew he was stronger, and he still didn't die in the lasso. That's why I didn't love this pick, to be honest.
Die bomb Hawks as well.
Oh yeah, that's strong.
Bird
If Heaven
down
Salvador
here.
a monster as well,
Yeah.
that's gonna be pretty big. Oh, Roar. Just going for the Dusa. Riders just sets up the move up to command. They use all the damage with the Dusa. Dusa, she can't get away. She's just stunned forever. She's dead. Rises might get stunned here by the Dawnbreaker. I don't think he cares too much. In fact, the Monkeys just destroy him. But Rises being dragged out of his Wukong. The Cold Embrace will save him for now. He spells gauges as well, but he can't get away from this.
have
They need some
shackles.
sort of force staff.
They have
I
shackles.
think Rises is gonna die twice.
Yep.
Flame break behind, shackles, and Rises is very tanky.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately not tanky enough.
Nope, can't get through the balance. And speaking of tanky, Realm was very tanky. He kept the entire enemy team at bay, basically all by himself. Pardon me, that'll allow KBU to cancel the TP here from Flea. I think he was facing towards the lady who sings, that is Dusa. Monster. He's got a haste, but Soul, maybe the haste won't save him. No, he's fine. He'll get away. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Alpha, it was fine, right? You force so many buybacks, I don't think it's that big a deal. And the initial kill on Dusa was great. But once again, it just feels like Rise is way too excited this game, and you're really far away from your team who can possibly help you out if they catch you with a lasso, right? Just don't do that as much.
Yeah, that was a great initiation on the Dusa. That's going to be the nullifier reveal. Actually, I'll cut this replay a bit later so we can see how quickly that Dawnbreaker was exploded. But a good initiation. I always really kind of just like these plays from off-laners that just utilize a quick little blink and stun. Not much Dusa could do or say about on the first life. It was really the second life that was much more problematic for them. Dusa up to 25. Of course, Split Shot uses modifiers, but Mjolnir perks for everyone. Mjolnir procs, that is, for everyone.
It's really Dusa or bust now at this point for KBU US. It's a tough game to play, like I said, because of the core-to-core and also the impact of the Zeus. I feel like Zeus also has been scaled much more than we expected him to, and I think just because Flea has been playing pretty well, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, I think, again, the stakes aren't the highest for either of these two teams. Just, you know, the bragging rights and at 1K on the line for them. 1K of, I think, 16,
Computer
17.
for Rises.
Computer for Rises, right? An extra graphics card, I'd say, for him. He can maybe SLI them. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore with how powerful the cards have gotten. But anyway, I know JJ's in chat. Maybe he can let me know. What is important here is I think the players are having fun, right? Like Monkey King going in that deep, right? Kind of getting lasted. I'm sure he laughs that one off. It's not a very high-stress situation. You know, because the stakes not super high here for either of the teams.
And they're still winning, right? Like, I feel like that kill is not enough. You still forced the buyback on Dusa, you still forced the kills you needed, so it was more like a desperate play more than anything. So I feel like they should be fine here on Alpha. They should still be able to take this game. It's going to take them a little bit longer, but they should still be fine.
Exactly.
That's why I think the Monkey King versus Dusa matchup is the preferred matchup, especially in NA, where it's a bit of a slower region, because you don't depend on a moment where you fall off. Like, Monkey King will always be good against Dusa. And here we see it, by the way. Pingu discovers this. Okay, Thunder God tries to give vision. They already killed the Warden, by the way. As Plus Command gets set up on the Dusa. Those Stone Gates just yet. Can they take away our mana in time? They're trying their best. They will. No, Stone Gates just barely came out, so Rice will be turned to stone. However, Monkey King is walling up on Dusa, and Realm will be finished off. No buyback this time, as the poor Dawnbreaker will also fall. Alpha takes down 3, and I think it should be game.
Yeah, that looks really, really good. Stone Gaze did come out, but all that really did was, you know, it called out all the NFT fans, and a bunch of people with monkey profile pictures showed up in the mentions there of the Dusa. That did not look good for her, unfortunately. Rises, I mean, he is just way too strong at this stage. You know, he spawns more statues when he's still standing still. He's got massive ring around him. That's a big jump, big commitment. Blown up already. Sunlight, and there's going to be the roar and probably the game. GG forced out from the Warden. KBU are going to fall in game number 1. Alpha up 1-0. Great game out from
Did you see what happened? There was actually the Hawk was sent to him as he blinked. Not on purpose.
Oh,
just
really?
Kind of chance. Yeah, that's why he got stunned as soon as he went to. I'm assuming he had some sort of plan there, but it didn't work out because Hawks can't be disjointed for whatever reason. Those guys, they hone in on you, you know?
Yeah, I mean, how can you disjoint them? I mean, they're known for their great vision.